Hey, Richard.
Hey, Juan, how's it going?
I'm all right, man. It's awesome that we get to edit this out.
Yeah. It's the power of technology.
The amount of times that we edit out the, oh, hey, how are you? Because there's no other way to start it.
Yeah. How was your week, man?
It was good. You were talking about a wedding earlier this week.
Oh, yeah. Or family reunion.
Family reunion. But
Yeah.
like it reminded me of a wedding,
Okay.
right? And so like I've gone to a few weddings in my life, right? And it's interesting because it's either like the best night of my life or like the most boring, like horrible night.
Okay, you're going to have to, because I've worked plenty of weddings. I've only attended one, and it was my parents' wedding.
Okay. Wow, that's
and
really
I was
sad.
like 5.
You've never been in... I don't get invited to weddings.
I've never been to another wedding unless I'm bartending at it.
No, see, I went to a I've gone to weddings before where you walk in and everything is like almost immediately you can feel the vibe in the place.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel that.
You're like the parents are fighting with each other, the family's fighting with each other. There's something fucking going on here.
Uh-huh.
And at those weddings specifically, the worst experience is seeing the poor DJ like trying to he's like trying to get the vibe going, so he's like hitting all the hits. You know, he's like left foot, left foot, left stomp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, guys, yeah. You know, he comes on the microphone, hey, everybody, let's go ahead and give it up and let's get out to the dance floor.
Yeah, that is and everybody just keeps sitting there sipping their water.
But they're and they're staring at the dance floor. And then like it feels awkward because I've been the person who's like, let's get this going, you know? So I grab my fiance's hand. I'm like, let's get out there and dance, you know? And then like nobody gets up.
And then you're the asshole.
Yeah, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
You know? So you're standing up
you
there
just
like
feed the awkward vibe.
yeah, because now it's you in the middle of the dance floor and everyone else is just staring blindly, like directly at you, just waiting for you to like fall.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a bad wedding, when everyone is like hoping you fall. God, I hope this guy falls.
Yeah.
I hope he breaks his ankle.
Yeah, I definitely empathize with the whole vibe thing, because you can tell almost immediately when it starts, and you know the problem people. You're like, okay, got to keep an eye on Uncle Joey.
Yeah.
He can ruin this.
Yeah.
What's best is when the bride comes up and it's never the bride. It's like her sister or something. They're just like, okay, you need to watch out for him.
Yeah.
All right, he's gonna keep him away from the buffet for one. For two, keep him away from the bar. I'm like, I'm the bartender. I can't keep him away from the bar.
Shoot him away.
So
that's what you should just start keeping a spritz bottle.
Yeah, just
And any
no, Uncle Joey, no.
But I want a drink.
No, Uncle Joey, you've had enough. The bride's mom is looking at me like she is about to stab me in the eyes. All right.
He gets back to the table just wet because he's been sprayed like 30 times by you with the little
spray
bottle.
He looks like he just jumped out of the ocean.
I don't know why I keep going back. No, dude, because like I feel like wedding DJ has to be a really hard job.
Oh, yeah.
Because not only that, you get a list of like songs that you can't play. Yeah. So like as a DJ, you're given a list of songs that just are not allowed at the wedding.
Okay.
Don't know why.
Like provided by the bride?
Yeah, by like the bride or the groom.
Okay. No, that makes sense. And then they have like, you need to hit these songs, but here you can get creative or whatever.
Right, but like the songs that they usually don't want played are like the fun songs at the wedding. You know? I don't want you to play Yeah by Little John and the East Side Boys.
Gotcha. All right.
And you're like, dude, that's like 90% of my playlist.
Yeah, that's Party Central right
is
there.
Little John and the East Side Boys. We've had the same, I feel like we've had the same party music since 2003. It has not changed.
Oh, that's for true. And every wedding, like, there's 2 or 3 songs every wedding has to play, and it's like Selena, what's that one? The Cumbia.
Oh, yeah.
That one is every
Cumbia
wedding.
Kings.
Every wedding is played. The Cupid, or not Cupid Shuffle,
See, but that's what I'm saying. Imagine those songs not being allowed on your playlist.
And you're like, fuck.
You're a DJ, and like your
what am I
number
supposed to do?
Your number one job is to entertain.
Yeah.
And the bride just came up and put a cigarette out in your eye and was like, don't play those. And you're like, this is like, what?
That's my bread and butter. I don't care. I don't want it played.
Yeah. Here's some artists I don't want you to play.
I'm the
R.
bride.
Kelly, Taylor Swift, Little John and the East Side Boys, more Little John and the East Side Boys. Don't play any of that.
Yeah.
And then like the thing is that you probably play those songs at those types of weddings, and people like start getting up, and they're like, and then like the bride goes like shoots daggers at you, and so you have to like change it to like.
Just in the middle of a song. That's got to be rough. Just in the middle of a song. You're going from Cupid Shuffle, and then it's I Hope You Dance by Tim McGraw.
She's smiling. It's like, did you invite people here to not have a good time?
Yeah.
Is that
I swear some do, though.
Anti-DJ.
Yeah, I swear some do.
Oh, yeah, you just get invited. Just
You just get to sit there and revel in my glory.
Enjoy me. Actually, there's no music at this reception. We're going to sit in silence. Man. There's no drinks. Dinner is macaroni and cheese. Not even the good kind.
It's not even Kraft mac and cheese. It's Velveeta.
No, I feel like that's the fancy one, right? Isn't that?
I like the Kraft mac and cheese better than the Velveeta one. I guess you're right. It is maybe considered more fancy.
I will say that if I went to a wedding and that happened, I would hope the mac and cheese like fell on her like dress.
Yeah. Just and not like a whole lot, just one.
Yeah.
Just one noodle that creates just the perfect sting down the front.
Have you ever been to a wedding where like the person that's not supposed to speak somehow gets a hold of the microphone, like when they're doing the toast?
That's happened, I think, once.
Okay.
And they quickly wrestled that shit away from him.
That's too bad.
Yeah, because I remember seeing
what
that.
What ethnicity was this family?
Mexican.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if it was a white family, they would just all sit there like...
Yeah, and talk about it behind their backs like for the next 2 years.
Painfully enduring a 25-minute speech by Uncle, Jojo, who can't stop taking shots of vodka.
Right. Takes like 5 shots in the middle of his...
Yeah, he comes up on stage. Give me the mic. Come on.
No, I want the microphone.
Hey, all right. Hey, I see a lot of friendly faces, a lot of familiar faces around here. As you know, my name is Uncle Jojo. I spent a lot of time with a groom, Daniel. Daniel, how are you? He's not waving back.
I knew we shouldn't have got him out of prison.
Let me tell you something real quick. When I was a younger man, I took Daniel to a brothel.
Oh, God.
On his first 16th birthday. He had 2 16th birthdays because his parents didn't like the way I did the first 16th. But I made him a man.
Oh, my God.
Not me, per se, but, that. And then,
and see, that's why I like the Mexican. Yeah, because that goes on for like 45 minutes. That's why I like the Mexican family. They will wrestle his ass to the ground and take the microphone.
I'm at Pinchy microphone.
You're not going to ruin this.
This is Daniel's thing.
You ruined Easter. You're not ruining this.
Yeah. No, because then like everyone's like howling and like crying like, oh no.
Yeah.
But then immediately
it's like
after,
a telenovela.
Yeah, but then like 5 minutes later they're all like dancing to and they're like,
and Uncle Joey's the fucking star of the party now.
Yeah, this isn't personal experience or anything.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a microphone at this point, so he's fine.
Yeah, man.
Weddings are weird.
Let's hit the intro. That's not the intro.
Oh, hi, Crystal.
The Southwest has been home to the most infamous outlaws, from Billy the Kid to Neil Patrick Harris. Safe to say, legends have wandered these deserts. And if you listen closely, you can almost hear the wind whisper their story over this barren land. Well, these 2 gunslingers, they have their own story to tell. They're shooting from the hip.
feel like the two most awkward events that you could like experience as a human being are either weddings or prom. Or like
proms are awkward too.
I wouldn't even say like a high school dance, because by like the high school dance, you're kind of like you're in your groove, you know.
Yeah, you you kind of understand a little bit more about
the female perspective.
Right. Okay.
You know how to talk to a woman by then.
A little bit.
Okay, speak for yourself.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
No, but like I'm saying like middle school dances.
Dude, those are the most awkward fucking experiences ever.
If there is one thing I wish I could be, it'd be like a gym teacher, and it's just to like witness one of those things.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective.
Yeah. If you could just be like a fly on the wall during that.
Because you always know who the cool kid is, right? Because he like comes sauntering in. He's got the untucked black shirt,
Yep.
Probably like a buzz cut, cutting the eyebrow.
Yeah.
Like dating myself here. He like walks in the room and all the ladies are like, it's Jeff.
People are still not dancing. They're each on either side of the fucking auditorium.
Yeah. And there's
just like kind of
there's like one or two girls over on the guy's side.
Yeah. And vice versa.
And you know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get it.
Yeah.
You're an adult. Yeah, you always see this kid walk in and he like controls the room because all the heads turn.
Yeah.
All the ladies are like,
look
who it is.
Yeah, and the guys are like, what the fuck are they looking at?
It's Jeffrey Santiago.
Oh, fuck Santiago.
Jeffrey Santiago II.
I fucking hate Santiago.
It's Jeffrey Santiago II. And you're like, wow.
Yeah.
So like, he walks over to a girl and he's like, I don't know. That's probably what they talk like. And she's like, oh, falls.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh man, I'm at her pass off. What's like literally the girl next to her. He's like, you want to dance? It's like my song. And like the song is like, Shawty like a man.
Yeah.
It's my song.
Oh yeah, we just dated ourselves like crazy right there.
This song means a lot to me. So he, but then like that's how people start like kind of coming into the dance floor.
Okay, because we didn't go to the same middle school. So on average, what would you say is like the maximum amount of time that they spend separated?
Oh, dude,
it's
probably the first hour.
I was gonna say at least the first hour, maybe hour and a half.
They let Jeffrey Santiago II out of detention.
Yeah,
specifically because they were like, that fucking dance.
Like, this is fucking lame, dude. We gotta let him in.
You gotta let Jeffrey Santiago out.
Yeah, the second. Don't forget the second.
And like he's sitting there and he's like pop collar.
Yeah,
and they're like
that hasn't been cool since the '60s, but he pulls it off.
Hey. You got to get out there. And he's like,
it's your time to shine.
And he's like, I knew you'd come. Pulls out like a candy cigarette, pops it, walks out.
Just pulls out a pack of Smarties. And
yeah. The whole room just like, he's smoking Smarties. The whole room just like explodes the second he walks in,
Well, no, it's not explodes because it's like a slow build. It's like you said. It's oh my god, it's that Jeffrey Santiago.
Because Jeffrey Santiago II, his boys like they see him and they're like they all
bro, what's up, bro, dude?
And then he's like, let's go talk to chicks, and they're like, oh
my god, you could do that?
I don't want to do that, but like
they're all the way on the other side of the auditorium,
and they all walk. They'll start walking, and like of course his boys are like, hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Jazz? How are you? She's like, get away from me, Jeffrey.
And I'm Jasmine.
I only want Jeffrey Santiago II. Yeah. Like the crew is Jeff's. It's the Jeff's crew.
Yeah.
But they like let him out. They're all in the middle of the fucking thing. They're all like dancing.
Yeah, they like finally kind of congregate, and then slowly everybody else starts meeting.
And that's when I would want to become a chaperone. Because the dance moves you probably see on that fucking floor. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you've ever been to a club or something like that.
I have not.
Okay, but when I was 18, clubs were still dancing. It wasn't just go there and get as trashed as
I was going to say, it wasn't just cocaine and alcohol.
Yeah. It wasn't like some guy on stage being like, all right, guys, we're going to listen to this 30-minute techno loop. Yeah. And people being like, woo, I can't feel my fingers.
Yeah.
Like, that's what clubs are now. Back in the day, clubs were like,
dancing.
Let's get down and dirty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, seeing clubs as an adult, some of the dance moves you see there, like, there's always a couple, like, most of the people there, they know how to kind of, like, at least move a little bit. You know? But there's times where you see like the dude who's like going all out, you know, and he's like sweating, he's like, you know,
Like that, yeah.
Like-
That's his exercise. That's his therapy.
yeah. There's like a fine line, right, where like dancing at the club gets really really weird. It's cool, you know, up to a certain point. When you're dancing at the club and there's a group of women like staring at you because they're afraid to get on the dance floor
That's yeah.
because you're essentially like moshing by yourself.
Oh, that's got to be awkward.
or like I've seen the
What if it's like the Napoleon Dynamite dude?
Oh, dude, I'd
and
be
he
all
thinks
about
he's the
that.
main character and just starts his, you know what, living room routine.
well
living
no
room
see
routine.
but here's the thing, dude. I've seen the whole like thing where the guy like points at a chick and like does like the come here thing.
Has
and
that ever worked?
she does not come. And it's the most awkward thing in the world because he keeps doing it. They always keep doing it. They always go like, and then they laugh it off and like disappear for the rest of the night. Because like,
they keep doing, but like, because that's the way you should just like, all right, and then
they go like,
continue on with your life.
you know, and then she doesn't come and he's like does both fingers and then he does it again, and then like he like points with like his toe too. She still doesn't get the point. And she's like, no, I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm okay.
doing this.
I'm wearing heels. You know, and he's like, oh, okay, and then he just dissolves.
You never see him the rest of the night.
I hate clubs. I hated them growing up. I hated going out because it was broke. And so
Yeah, you can't even have a good time at that point.
What am I drinking?
Yeah,
I have
water.
one beer and that's it.
Yeah, because that one beer costs you $25.
Yeah. And then if you try to ask for like a mixed drink, like a cocktail,
Oh,
guess what, dude? No rent.
yeah.
That's what's happening. You're not paying rent this month.
Yep.
I've been to the point where like I remember okay. I was 21, 20-ish probably. Got
Okay.
into a club somehow. And
Totally not a felony.
you're right. I don't care, dude. No one, they don't
Statute
care.
of limitations, I think, has already gone out.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's been
Anyway, you were going to a
Hopefully.
club around like early 20.
yeah. And so like I remember buying a girl a drink and buying myself a drink.
And just wasting $50.
No, and then buying another drink for both of us because I was like, oh, dude, she's interested in me. She wasn't, but she, you know, I was like, she's in, you know, hook, line, and sinker, baby,
yeah.
you know. And then I got the check, and dude, I swear, like, I just about like cried in front of her when I saw, because I was like, I am not gonna live at my house.
Yeah.
I am
I'm going hungry this month.
Like, you know, it's bad when you have to ask your parents for a loan because you
Oof.
went to the club that weekend.
Yeah. Fortunately, I've never been there.
You've never been to a club?
No. You know me. I fucking hate people.
Yeah.
in
Only
groups.
Only dive bars.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
Clubs are weird because you do see like,
Concerts. I've gone to concerts, but that's
yeah, but see the
That's
drinks
different.
there aren't any cheaper though.
they're not. It's not as bad.
No,
'Cause, like,
$15 for like a slightly like warm can of beer is
but you get like two. It's like the big 25-ounce ones,
that's like, but you can get those at the gas station for like $4.
or you can sneak in shooters.
Oh no, dude, you just admitted to another felony on live.
I don't think that's a felony. No, that's not a felony. Maybe a misdemeanor.
I'll let you.
Maybe a misdemeanor.
We'll put it out there, see if you get arrested.
Again, statute of limitations, and show me the proof.
You're going to sleep and you just hear
You
It's the
snuck
police.
one shooter of Captain Morgan into the Motley Crue concert 5 years ago.
it's the police. Open up. What?
What?
I
We
heard
listen
what
to
you
your
said.
podcast.
Me and the fellas listen to your podcast every Monday.
Oh, thanks, Officer Rodriguez. That's very nice of you.
We're so disappointed in you.
Oh,
Speaking of concerts, I've been to a concert where like the crowd's not into what's going down like on
Ooh.
stage. It's always the opener.
I've never been to one. Like every concert I've been to, even the opener is like, but they did work to get that crowd there. But it still wasn't like they were just sitting there looking at the band like, what the fuck is this shit?
No, I've been to one like that.
Yeah.
I've been to one where like the guy was like on stage and he was like, "Let's get ready, come on, baby."
Was it just one guy or?
stand up? Woo! All right, here's my next song. The DJ hasn't even played. The DJ's not even playing the song.
DJ walked away.
Really appreciate if the DJ would hit my song. please.
That's rough. That is rough.
Yeah, those are rough.
Yeah.
I feel like group activities are so harsh.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what scares me. Like, imagine if you and I did a live show one day and no one laughed.
Yeah, that would be rough.
Like, we're up there just doing this, and we're like, oh, they love us. We show up, and it's just everyone's just sitting there just quietly, cross legs, like total, like arms crossed, legs crossed. They're completely closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like your disappointed grandfather.
A crowd of disappointed grandfathers. That's who's listening to us.
Yeah. I was like, oh, man. All right.
I walk and I'm like, Richard, dude, we sold out tonight. It's crazy.
We're really on top of it.
Walk outside, it's 50 conservative men.
Fuck.
I heard what you said about Bud Light.
Damn it. All right, start the band. Start the band. It's gonna be like that scene from Indiana Jones.
Anybody, please.
Start the fucking van.
Yo, we're shooting from the hip.
I like NPR better. God damn, I bet.
Yeah,
NPR?
they're confused. Our crowd is at the NPR.
That's fucking great.
The NPR live reading. They walk in and like it's just a bunch of people going like like penis, and they're like,
But yeah, they start talking about politics. What the fuck is this? I want Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, because they haven't seen us yet. They've only seen the cartoon.
Oh yeah,
So they don't know what we look like yet.
They're like, man, those cartoons are not real to life.
Yeah, what? They're both slender white men, like with no facial hair. And
like buzz cuts. What the hell?
Anytime I listen to NPR, that's what I imagine's on the other side of the microphone.
I imagine like a turtleneck
Yeah.
but it's a sweater with the leather elbows.
Oh God.
Yeah.
They always have a book and a journal for some reason.
And like those little like round horn rim glasses.
They walk up. They have like a slight like British accent, but they've never they've been to Britain, but like that was like
they just watched too much BBC and
they studied there like for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they came back and they're like,
pull the whole Madonna.
Well, I love the idea of the NPR book reading being filled with our fans.
That would be great.
Because I feel like most of the people who listen to this are either degenerates or apparently 50-year-old conservative men, according to our concert. Yeah, just the idea. We're gonna, dude. That reminds me of a thing that I saw. Like it was a pro wrestling thing. There was this character. He was an English guy. His name was William Regal. He's very.
Oh, okay, I remember.
Yeah,
Regal.
He's British, and he's just a bad guy because he's British. Like that's his villain arc.
Well, didn't that start with Hunter Hearst Helmsley? Like, wasn't he? No, he wasn't a bad guy at first, was he?
No, he was. He was like a pretty boy, not pretty boy, but like
posh,
like a posh, kind of like Regal, But yeah, this guy William Regal shows up on the stage. And like I said, his villain arc is that he's a British guy, and the crowd just immediately boos him.
I'm from a different country than you.
They're like, boo, boo! I want beer, boo! And he's like, he comes out, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen because he walks to the ring, and he's like, tonight I have quite a treat for all of you. He goes, I am going to read Macbeth in its entirety. Please join in if you know. Like he says, like join in if you know the words. Like essentially. And so
he's going to be a sing-along form of Macbeth,
and he starts reading it, and then like you hear the like Stone Cold like, and he like walks down to the ring, and this guy's like he's like talking trash to him like while Stone Cold's walking to the ring. He's like you're upsetting my crowd, And he comes in, doesn't say a word, just stunners the dude. And then leaves. And I went, if that's not American television at its finest, dude.
We're going to read Macbeth, and then some redneck is going to come in and fuck somebody up. That's great.
Speaking of wrestling, I watched a episode of this show that they used to do back in it's like 2001. So it was called WWE Tough Enough. Well, it was WWF Tough Enough back then, right?
Okay.
So in 2001, reality TV shows were like that was it. Right?
Yeah.
So it was like Real World, Survivor, stuff like that, But it was like Big Brother. So,
okay.
So WWE was like, we're gonna do the same thing, but instead they're gonna become wrestlers, right? And then like,
Well,
whoever,
didn't UFC do the same thing?
yeah, the Ultimate Fighter. But the thing is that the Ultimate Fighter was like, they were like actual fighters by the time they got to the Ultimate Fighter.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
These were like art majors and like guy from guy who served you at Taco Bell earlier that day.
That's fantastic.
They roll through, and on this very special episode, Triple H walks out.
Okay.
And he comes to the ring, right? And he walks into the ring. He's like, "How are you guys?" And like, you got to think, like, at this point, like, celebrities aren't like as attainable as they are nowadays, right? They're like detached from reality. They're characters of a television show. So you don't like really think, "Oh man, these guys are, totally available," or "This is somebody I might meet in person." Like, you see these people and they're television characters. They're larger than life, right? They don't have Twitters. It's not like behind the scenes. Like, it's 2001. Like, there's people out there who are still going like, it makes total sense that Stone Cold Steve Austin is a total alcoholic and yet somehow has enough energy to beat everyone in the
stunner,
ring. Right.
25 people a night.
So this dude walks in the ring and he's like, it's like a group of like the contestants, and he goes, "All right, what do we do today?" Right? And like one of the guys goes, "Mud wrestling." He's like,
Mud wrestling.
Yeah, he says mud wrestling.
Who says mud wrestling? Stone Cold says this.
No, just one of the contestants says
He
mud
wants
wrestling.
to mud wrestle.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
He says, "That's what we did today. We did mud wrestling." And so Triple H goes, "Sounds fun." And then he goes again, right? He like keeps talking. He's like, "Take a bump." He pulls out this guy. It's literally the Rex Kwon Do scene from Napoleon Dynamite. Where he's like,
everybody wants to take a roundhouse to the face wearing these bad boys.
So he pulls this guy out. It's like this bigger dude. And he comes out. He's like, "Take a bump." And the guy like takes a bump, right? Or he asks him for.
Could you imagine if on reality he just pulls out a baggie of cocaine?
Yeah, right. That's what bump means. But so
I meant throw.
Yeah.
Never
So
mind.
well, so for the listeners, a bump in wrestling is like throwing yourself to the mat,
Right.
And like hitting yourself as hard as you can, like on your back, and like taking everything on your arms.
Learning how to fall correctly,
Yeah.
essentially.
So he's like, calls this guy up. He's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Jeffrey."
No, what's your name?
All right. Doesn't matter. No. But he's like, "Jeffrey." He's like, "Take a bump." Right? Takes a bump. He goes, "That's a bad bump." Then he goes, "One of your balls is hanging out of your shorts." Just fucking ends this dude, right? Just immediately.
Oh my God. That's
like-
got to be rough.
He
dude.
tells his ass, "Get back in line." And then he it gets nuts, man. And so he goes, he starts like talking to the room, and he's like, "What do you want to be, a wrestler?" Right? And she's like, he talks to like, he goes up to like one of the girls. He's like, "What do you want to be, a wrestler?" She's like, "I like a challenge." And he goes, "You a fan?" She goes, "No." And so he's like, she says, "No." He's like, "Okay, so you don't have respect for the craft, right? What, do you want to just come in here, do mud wrestling, act like a little pretty princess? Is that what you want?" She's like, quiet. And like, it's 2001, so like, this is in the era where like women's wrestling was actually just mud wrestling. And like,
Yeah.
yeah,
They used to have the lingerie bouts or whatever.
yeah.
Was that early 2000s? Yeah.
And so he like walks up to another guy. His name's Maven. He's the one who actually ends up winning. Spoiler alert, winning the whole competition.
It's from 2001.
Yeah.
I seriously doubt it's going to be an issue for spoilers.
Well, so he walks up to the dude and he's like, "What about you? What makes you want to be a wrestler?" And this guy's response is, "All of it." Like, this is the worst.
Oh my
response.
God. That's all
All
of the
of it.
above.
And he's like, okay. And then he
Care
walks
to
up
explain?
and he's like, "You can tell a lot by who you idolize. So who's your favorite wrestler?" Right? This motherfucker wants people to say Triple H so bad.
Right.
But none of them do.
Right.
It's actually so bad that he walks up to one of them. He's like, "Who's your favorite wrestler?" And the guy goes, "Goldberg." And he's like, "Goldberg?" But it's funny because he like then turns around and like goes on a tirade about fucking Goldberg. He's like, "If you idolize a guy who can only be in the ring for 5 minutes," He's like, you know what I did? He's like, I was in the ring for 40 minutes, torn quad against Vince McMahon. So anyways, light it off. Fucking Triple H goes off on these people.
Yeah.
Right? Loses his mind. It's like roided out Triple H too. You know. This is like Super Saiyan 8.
Is this the Degeneration X?
No, this is
version?
post.
Post.
Okay. Right before he like tears both his quads, but right after DX. So he's like, he's juicing. You know, he's like hefty, like Broly.
He's
like,
the game.
Yeah.
Triple H.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so like he's in the ring like essentially bullying a bunch of like nobody athletes who are all just like, I just
got off my shift at Starbucks. I don't know what this is.
Look, man, I was a contestant on The Real World. I was just told I'd be paid to be here. And so, yeah, so Light Night finishes it. Anyways, after he like talks about like, you know, you got to take this business seriously. My friend had a broken neck. He can't walk anymore because of this. This is why you should take it seriously. You got to do it for the love, right? Whatever.
Love of the craft. Yeah.
At the end of the episode, it's like Triple H on like it was like August 12th, whatever, tore both of his quads.
Fuck.
At the end of the episode.
Like
it's at the end. Of the
Why
episode.
would you do that?
I don't think he did it on purpose.
No.
I don't think he was like trying to tear his quads.
Well, no, but I'm like, why would you just say that at the end after this man just bullies a bunch of people?
Yeah. But I just love I love how like insanely angry he gets when someone doesn't say he's their favorite wrestler.
Right. Well, it's Triple H. We kind of expect that from him. No, no offense to Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Like that Goldberg line was probably a dagger to the fucking heart.
Yeah. I mean, I do love me some Goldberg though. That dude. That spear is fucking monstrous.
Enough about wrestling.
But I wanted to bring up awkward live shows because one of my favorite podcasts, the No Sleep podcast, they do live things every once in a while, and I have to imagine how awkward as hell it is for the audience because like as a podcast, you're just listening to them narrate stories or to voice stories like you usually do, but then you have to think of like the audience that like. Because when you're voice acting, when we're doing this podcast, we're just sitting here talking.
Right.
This is supposed to be a whole big like theatric kind of thing. I imagine are they just sitting there talking into a microphone and all of the audience are just sitting there watching them talking to a microphone and they have to be like running through the woods at this point.
It's all the NPR guys in the audience.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know because I just went to like Google live shows to see if there's like film of. There is not, so I have no idea what that looks like.
I feel like live podcasts are because like if you don't interact with the crowd, like if we were to do a live podcast
and we're just doing this and the crowd's here like
quiet,
like in my kitchen,
like someone tries to laugh and I'm like, I look at them like
shut the fuck up,
shush,
you're ruining my flow.
Yeah, we're in the middle of doing something here. Anyways,
I find that interesting.
Yeah, no, so it's podcasts like that. Because I could understand like a comedy podcast being a pretty decent live show.
Yeah, because it's almost just like stand up.
Yeah,
but
it's two dudes or like a group of people kind of like doing their thing.
Yeah, you do like a Q&A or whatever. Like I've seen that happen a couple of times.
But imagining like somebody going up there and like my question is like who goes to like book readings?
That's a good question.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
The author is going to read a chapter from this book.
Like I love quite a few authors,
yeah.
and I would not pay, or I would not just sit to watch them read a book.
Yeah, you know it smells wild in there too.
Oh yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
You walk into a bookstore, and there's a live reading that evening. You're like, oh
yeah. Especially if it's like late afternoon, you are fucked.
And the author's usually just this, because I mean, like the author's probably like a really weird, quiet kind of like.
Yeah, because you don't you don't hear about Stephen King or like these big ones.
So he comes
doing
up to
book readings.
Yeah, he comes up holding the book. He's like, "Hello, my name is Magnuson. I wrote the book that you really enjoyed. Chapter 1. Rebecca was standing on the edge of the business, and she said that there was it's too much, and she can't really take it."
The librarian comes up. You gotta move the microphone.
No, the librarian, you're like, I know this is ironic, but you need to fucking do it.
You need to speak up.
Jesus, dude.
This is the one time
Did you
I will not tell you to shush.
Did you not notice the audience is 70-year-olds who are left here because their families,
Yeah, their family needs to go shopping.
and they can't afford it. They can't afford to put them in a home, so they come to
Come on, Grandpa.
they
come
come to
on.
live readings. You got to speak up, man.
Their
What?
hearing aids only go up so high.
What's that fucking hippie saying? Bill, please.
Bill, put back on your headphones.
Yeah, no one's listening. No,
They're just there.
like, it's like two like young people sitting there like, and then
Like,
one,
I really like this book, and I wanted to meet the author.
and then the rest of it is just like,
You hear like 5 hard candies getting opened at once.
and then like immense sucking just.
Well, on chapter 2, we're gonna
Someone's
Can we get an ambulance, please? Can we get an ambulance? He's dying.
like who? Like it's a public space. You're gonna sit down and listen to a guy read a chapter.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Maybe the reason I'm so judgmental towards it is because I don't understand it.
Okay.
It's a very common thought.
Yeah. Well, okay. It just takes me back to like when you were in school and you had to do, and you were in class and you would take turns reading so that everybody actually reads the book instead of just assigning chapters.
Oh, bro, those were the worst.
Yeah.
I feel like those teachers specifically had it out for me.
Did they?
Well, because I mean, you know, senior year, I was pretty much checked out.
Yeah.
And so, like, I wasn't expecting to be called upon because I would try to make myself look as checked out.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, they think like, oh, I'm going to embarrass this guy. You're not embarrassing me anymore, man.
I'm just
the
done.
class is expecting this from me.
Yeah, I'm just done.
And it always felt so bad because, like, this isn't to poke fun at people who read slower, but that was always the worst.
Yeah, I absolutely despised that. Like, I'm already done with the fucking chapter, dude.
They would call it a kid and be like, the house. What? Okay.
The house was red, Jimmy. The house was fucking red. God damn.
Yeah, and they always called on that person.
Well, yeah, because it was to strengthen their reading skills.
But then they would call you out for not finishing the book, and it's like, dude,
we were sitting here for half an hour on one paragraph. I don't know what you want from me, Miss.
Tyler's been reading the same chapter for the last 30 minutes, man.
Like, geez, I don't know what you want from me.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not a strong reader, and I realized that I'm not a strong reader because I would talk to people and they'd be like, "Oh, I finished the book," and I'd be like, "I'm in chapter 2."
I was one of those. I would just read it the night before.
See, that's crazy to me. I can't read. Not that I can't read,
but
that's gonna. Get
he just
clipped.
can't read.
Someone's gonna clip that. I can't read. Shooting from the hip. I can't read. No, dude. I like as an adult, you know, I tried to like read books as kind of an adult thing to do, right? Because I was like, you know, I don't want to watch
because
as
you
much
saw on
TV.
a TV show somebody was reading.
Yeah, and I was
And
like,
that's
oh,
what adults do.
He looks cool. And he's got glasses. And I want to be like him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start reading. So like, I would start reading books, and the way that I got back into reading was by reading like graphic novels,
Okay,
and then I like
graduated.
to novels, and
Still has pictures, but it's okay.
maybe the reason why I have such a hard time reading sometimes is if it's not like something that I can learn from or something that I can like build from, I'm not interested in it.
So you like the nonfiction better than fiction?
Yeah, because like, what am I reading a book about? What am I reading like a fantasy book for when I can just go watch like, you know, Game of Thrones? I don't know. Like, and then like, oh, the book's so much better. I'm sure it fucking is.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I
like,
am one of those assholes.
But that's what I'm saying. Oh, you got to read the book.
Yeah,
I don't. I saw the movie. I know what happens.
I get it.
I know what the ending is. The story is the beginning, the middle, and the end, and I saw all those parts. So I know what the story is. Oh, but you didn't see when, you know, Harry fucking set himself on fire out of protest. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't read that. You're right. You got me.
Yeah,
I was hoping they would include that in the movie. No, dude. That's why they didn't include it, because there's people who make a lot more money than you who are like, they're not going to be interested in this.
Right.
So,
Well, I'm not saying like make the entire movie exactly like the book, but the book is usually better.
okay. See, but that's
I
what
am
I'm
one
saying.
of those assholes.
Like what? Like, you know, you go watch Passion of the Christ and like read the book. It's so much better. You know, like, is it though?
Okay. You know what?
Because I just saw Jim Caviezel go through it. You know? So I'm just saying.
I never watched Passion of the Christ.
Me either. I wasn't allowed. Well, I was allowed, but I was scared of it.
Yeah.
You know? Because, well, okay, so when I would watch movies a lot when I was younger, it was in Mexico. And 90% of the time it was like, it was
Passion.
No, it was a guy filming in the movie theater.
Oh, it was.
So, like,
You
when
see the moving camera.
yeah. So, like, when I would watch Passion of the Christ, like, when I would try and watch a movie, it would be like the movie, and then like 20 minutes in, like, someone would just stand up and like walk out of frame, and I'd be like, "Was that?"
I don't know if that was supposed to be part of it or.
There was this one time I watched the movie. I'm not even kidding, where the guy like yelled in excitement. The guy who was holding the camera.
Oh,
Like,
God. Like he's watching Avengers and he's like, yeah.
Like legit, like that's what it was like. I don't remember what it was, but like there's like crazy part happens in the movie, and this dude goes like, yeah, like over it, and I can't hear, like it's like blowing the speakers out of the TV.
Yeah,
that we have.
because it's recorded on an iPhone.
But yeah, that's how I watched. No, not even an iPhone. It was camcorders back then.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So like, you know, it was difficult to watch movies because you would go to school and like somebody would be like, oh, dude, I can't believe that happened. And I'd be like, I must have missed that part. That must have been the part where the guy got up and was like,
Went to the bathroom.
I'm gonna get more popcorn, you know. And like, what's annoying is that they're doing something illegal, but they weren't doing it well, and that's what bothered me.
Yeah, if you're gonna do something illegal, at least put your all into
Yeah,
it.
you're already breaking the law. You might as well do it good. You brought a camera to the movie theater. Just shut up.
Yeah, and hold it still.
And that's the other thing. Movie theaters are supposed to be quiet. How is it that the one guy who's supposed to be the quietest in the movie theater is talking the most?
Yeah. It's like, man, I don't know about this plot point. I'm wondering how it goes.
I'm just trying to watch this illegally recorded movie in peace.
Just let me watch my movie.
Yeah, like I remember my mom wouldn't take me to go watch Spy Kids 3D.
Oh, okay. You didn't miss much.
Hey, hold on.
It was pretty good.
I still watched it. You
Yeah.
don't have to dog
Oh.
on the Spy Kids series.
I didn't dog on the series.
You just dogged on it. You
No,
said
no,
you
no.
didn't
The
miss
first
much.
two were good. The third one was
Look, I'm just saying. The copy of Spy Kids 3D I got, I'm pretty sure was not Spy Kids 3D.
What did you end up with?
Well, no, because we watched like the 10 minutes of it, and then I remember vividly getting up to go get like a drink and then coming back in, and it was The Mask of Zorro. And I was like, this isn't
How
right.
did that happen?
That brings me on to my next topic.
Okay.
The Mask of Zorro.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Yeah, The Mask of Zorro was the first one, and then it was Legend of Zorro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so the Zorro movies in general.
The first one had Anthony Hopkins, right? He was supposed to be the Spaniard.
Yeah. Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, anyway, okay.
What I'm saying is that like that's my problem with it. The only Mexican in that movie is Antonio Banderas.
No, isn't he Spanish? I don't think he's Mexican.
No, Zorro's in Mexico. Zorro takes place in Mexico.
Right, but I'm saying Antonio Banderas is Spanish.
I don't think he's Spanish. I think he's Mexican.
We have technology.
No, but what I'm saying is like he's the only like Hispanic person in that movie.
Okay, Hispanic would be accurate.
It's a movie about Hispanic.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas, Spanish actor.
Like it's a movie about Hispanic superhero essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, we got to cast white people.
Well, of course.
You can't even just let us have this?
Nope.
Like, what's next? Pancho Villa, played by Terry Crews. You know, like that's not fair, man.
That is fucking great.
You know, is there not enough Mexican actors that you can fill these roles?
I guess not.
That you
I
have
guess
to
not.
cast like
Well, even look at Desperado. That's another one that had
Like,
Antonio Banderas in it. And
Benedict Cumberbatch as Hidalgo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh, anyway, in Desperado, like the main bad guy who's supposed to be like this huge cartel leader is like a suburban white dude. Yeah.
oh yeah, that's Johnny Depp, right?
No, that's still Antonio Banderas.
Wait, what?
Desperado.
Yeah, that's Antonio Banderas. I thought. Oh no, that's Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that's like the sequel to
Who plays
Desperado.
the cartel leader in Desperado?
I can't remember his name, but
Jonathan.
Kevin Smith, probably. I don't know. 19.
Like seriously, man. Like I don't understand. The only person who ever cast actual like Hispanic actors in movies is Robert Rodriguez. Like every other time, it's like the reason why Pedro Pascal is such a big deal is because he's the only Mexican actor they fucking cast in anything other than that dude from the Fast and Furious movies. Who's the guy, the Cholo dude that they always cast? You know what I'm talking about? They always name him the same. He always has the same name in every movie. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
The Cholo dude in Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Well, he just plays the Mexican guy. Noel Guglielmi.
I need a picture.
That doesn't even sound.
That doesn't.
It sounds Italian.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He plays Hector in every movie. Like
yeah.
that's his name.
Yeah, and he plays the same exact character in every movie.
So that's why that's what I'm asking. Why is it that it's only Antonio Banderas, Pedro Pascal, and this dude?
Oh, and Danny Trejo. Don't forget about him.
Yeah, but he's never like a main character in a movie other than Machete.
Okay.
The movie is called Machete. See, I'm surprised they didn't cast fucking Benedict Cumberbatch for Machete.
That would be an interesting role.
I have machetes. He has I don't know if you've ever seen that video of him, but he didn't know how to pronounce penguin. And so
yeah. I heard about that one.
Penguin.
Yeah, and then there was the croissant thing with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
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 Make fun of people because they can't pronounce words.
Croissant. Look,
A
man.
quaxon?
I'm just saying, if you're gonna make a movie about Mexico, maybe
Don't cast white
fucking
people.
hire Mexicans. Hey, it's a movie about the Mexican stand of revolution against the Spaniards and blah 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 and this and that. Mel Gibson's gonna play the lead.
Yep, naturally.
We're gonna have
He's also gonna direct it.
Yeah, we're gonna have Anthony Hopkins as the second. Behind Anthony Hopkins, we're gonna do Emma Roberts and
Emma Roberts.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then like all the way down in 10th, like 2 minutes of screen time, it's fucking Hector Guglielmi.
Yeah. Yeah, that is weird.
I hate it, man. Like, could you imagine that? Like, I don't know, The Patriot. If instead of Mel Gibson, it was Pedro Pascal. How fucking upset would you be?
I probably wouldn't. I would think of it as funny.
Okay, see,
Just like
and that's your
great.
privilege talk.
Yeah, that's probably it.
It's coming from like visibly white guy.
Yeah. Until you start speaking
Yeah.
Spanish, and they're like, "What the hell?"
That's the best.
Yeah,
It's a superpower.
I bet.
So like I'm like a double agent because I always know.
Okay, give me a story. I know you have stories.
Oh well, yeah. So like the gas station that I used to work at,
Oh, Valero, yeah.
we would get people from
All walks of life.
all walks of
We'll
life.
put it that way.
Specifically, we would get like Hispanic people, and they would walk in and they would talk shit
In Spanish.
like it's some sort of fucking coded language. I'm like,
Like,
this
they
is
don't
like
know what we're
I'm
saying.
like, this is probably the second most spoken language in the country, and you're like,
At least in our state, for
Yeah.
sure.
you like that's my thing. You came to a state called New Mexico, and you're surprised that someone speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm helping these people out, and they would just talk shit. And so like at the very end, I would just be like, gracias, and,
But no,
Speaks
you
in
can't just
Spanish.
say. You can't just
Well,
say
no,
that.
I'd
Like you
say
have
like a
like
full-
a sentence.
Yeah, thank you, the truck is red. And they would be
Yes,
like,
indeed,
really,
truck is
they'd
red.
be like really confused. But like no, but they would talk trash, or like when we would go to like the flea markets.
Mm.
And when I was younger, we went to this flea market in the metropolitan city that's by us, and we were there, and it was full of Mexicans and Mexicans who speak Spanish, but also speak English, but mainly Spanish.
Right.
And so what they would do is they drive prices up on shit because it's
Yeah, Because
fucking Whitey's here.
yeah, they don't know.
You know, so he's here to pay
Whitey doesn't know.
$40 for a mirror that they're charging 5 pesos for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so this one time I was standing there, and this guy was like she was trying to buy like a shirt. It was like a band T-shirt. You
Okay.
could tell it was not legit.
Like it was ironed on.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just trying to charge her like $25, and it's 25 pesos on the shirt. It says 25 pesos, and she's about to pay $25. And I like walk in. I'm like, hey, what's going on? She's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm like,
You know that's it's like
$2.50.
$3. Yeah.
And I look at the guy and I start speaking to him in Spanish, and he looks at me like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because like not only am I speaking to him in Spanish, I'm speaking to him in like fluent,
Yeah.
you know, Spanish, and so he's like staring at me like double agent, you know. And if you know, end up getting the shirt for like $5, walk out, and she's like, I got to start bringing you with me more often. And I was like, I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah, that was very weird.
You know? What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Dance, monkey, come on.
Come on, boy.
Drive the price down. Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
Exactly. Yeah, I got to keep you around. Oh, is that what I'm worth?
Like that's it. Yeah. You got me a shirt for $2 instead of $25.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, and I don't blame people. It's just, you know how Mexicans got back at white people, I think. Again, I say that as an incredibly white man.
Yeah.
Spicy food. You may live in very nice homes and have us work on your projects that you're too lazy to do, but let me tell you something. At the end of the day, when your asshole's burning,
You'll think of us.
I hope all you hear is fucking mariachi music. Understand? That's how we got
this
back.
is payback.
My payback, the payback was us creating incredibly spicy foods that you guys can't get enough of.
Yeah. See, I'm mostly Irish, so all we really get is barroom
Potatoes.
fights.
Oh.
Potatoes. Oh, yeah, I guess people really like potatoes. but
Barroom fights. That's what you're going to
That's
dilute your entire...
Yep, that's it. Shoot, every other like piece of media in history has done the same thing. Might as well own it.
What's the stance?
The old school like hands in front of
hands
each
in
other.
front of you, yeah.
come on, see?
That's transatlantic. You can't even get your guys' own accent right.
I'm the one who taught you that term, so let's calm down. All right. The one who told you that was a real thing.
It's like if an Irish person, like if they made a movie about an Irish person, they cast like a British person as the lead. That would not go over well.
Hold on, I have to do some research real
You
quick.
got to look it up.
Well, I know for a fact in Peaky Blinders, the only Irish, well, okay, not the only Irish character, but the main Irish character in the first season was played by an English person.
I was going to say, there is a gentleman in that show called Ian McShane. That's
Hold on, what was that?
that's about as Irish as you get. Like, that's calling, his name might as well be like Tommy Four-Leaf Clover or something.
Yeah, so they got an American to play one of the most iconic Irish characters, Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus is an American actor. The other one is Sean Patrick Flannery, so I can't get mad at that.
Yeah, but you know, it's Boondock Saints.
What other Irish-led movie
Let's
can
find
you
out.
think of?
Let's find out. Let's think about
Other
it.
than like the one where Brad Pitt played an Irish
Snatch.
guy. Yeah.
Snatch, man. That movie rocks. Let me see. Irish movies. The Wind That Shakes the Barley.
Oh, it's classic. Everybody knows that one.
It's just the first thing that came up.
Most Irish fucking name.
It's got Cillian Murphy in it.
Yeah, he's Irish.
Yeah. I used to call him Cillian.
I thought that's what his name was too for the longest time until I heard it pronounced in an interview.
I love these. So I love what we're going through. Is that Wayne Rooney? Hold on. No, that's not Wayne Rooney. I'm stupid. His name is Brendan Gleeson. It's a movie called Calvary, and let's just take a guess about what it's about.
Calvary. So that's got to be like Civil War, right?
Catholic priest.
Okay. Fuck me, I guess.
I looked. So on Google, I just looked up Irish movies, and we've got The Wind That Shakes the Barley. I don't know why that name is getting me. Calvary. Third one is The Irish Pub. Banshees of Inisherin. Yeah. Belfast. Leap Year. They're all wearing green in that one. That makes sense.
Obviously.
Oh, dude, Leap Year. Hold on. Steph made me watch this movie.
Leap Year.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, go ahead. I
Okay.
need to see if I even recognize it.
Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can.
Is it so? It's like is it a legit Irish movie?
Well, I mean, the guy in it's Irish.
Okay,
The other one's
I'll take
Amy
it
Adams.
then. Oh, okay.
Here, hold on. Check this out.
Oh, Adam Scott's in it.
I'm gonna play the trailer for our lovely audience. This is Leap Year. You guys, you'll probably get the gist just from hearing the trailer, honestly.
Get ready to lose your mind. Guess who I saw walking out of the store carrying that little red bag? Oh my God.
So this is for you.
Okay, hold on. We gotta work on your surprise face. Ask me. Will you marry me? Bigger eyes? Me? The good news is you have time to practice between now and then. They're earrings.
Yeah. A little something to keep your ears warm while I'm in Dublin.
It is leap year, you know. In Ireland, a woman can propose to a man on the 29th of February.
Dad, I'm not going to Dublin. I'm not gonna die without getting engaged.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are diverting to Cardiff, Wales.
I love movies like this.
Yeah, this is.
I need a taxi to Dublin.
I'm your man, missus.
I'll drive you to Dublin.
He's drunk.
Thank you.
Guess what?
I'm going to propose to my boyfriend on leap day.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I thought,
That's the love interest right there.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
This January,
I guess. Let's move.
Comes as a real shock to find out that you speak fluent cow.
the girl who's always in control
Even the
will
voiceover.
find out what happens
This January.
You fried my blackberry.
You fried the whole village.
when you lose it.
Wait,
Stop it! The car.
my ride.
You get the gist.
Oh yeah. This girl who usually has it all together.
You know what it is? It's that South Park bit.
Yeah, it really is.
Amy Adams is fuck you
Yeah.
this summer. Go fuck yourself.
Ay, Dios mío.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's an Irish movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She made me watch that.
And
You know what? I didn't mind it as much as I thought I was going to.
Okay.
There's times when I sit down for like a chick flick or what's considered like a chick flick, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm all in.
yeah.
Right? You know, like a guilty pleasure of mine is Hallmark movies,
Okay.
where like the guy's like, honey, I gotta go to New York City and make us $1 billion so that we don't have to work again. She's like, but it's fucking Christmas.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
And then she
And
ends
then
up,
she ends up falling in love with the handyman.
yeah, she ends up nailing some guy who like, I don't know,
Fixed her window.
yeah, builds statues.
Builds. Oh no, gingerbread house because it's
Yeah,
Christmas.
exactly. The
And
best
he's like
ginger-
really good at it.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, you have a
He's so creative. He's a tortured soul.
Yeah, she's like, you have a talent. You should take this. And like, there just so happens to be the great gingerbread building, you know.
Yep.
And like, her husband's like, honey, I'm coming back for Christmas. And the guy's like, well, I guess you don't need me anymore, you know.
Yep. Yep.
And she's like, wait, I know I have a 20-year marriage with that guy, but fuck him. You built a gingerbread house real good. Like there was one.
Marry you.
There was one that we watched the other day where this lady, she it's like Christmas, of course, and she works at like a shop, and like Santa's gonna be there, and like it's actually fucking Santa, of course. Who would have thought? And
Right.
like he's got like an elf with him, and she's like, you know, she walks up and the elf's like staring at her like, the lady's like,
Because she's
"Ah."
on the naughty list.
She's like, well, if you ever have a wish, she hands her a card. She's like, here you go. Just say your wish and hold this. And she's like in the car. And she's like, oh, the car won't start after like she closes the place down. Her boss is a dick and stuff, you know, just the
Yeah,
classic.
normal Hallmark movie shit.
And so she like goes like she wishes on the card. She's like, I wish I had a better life, right? And she like nothing happens. She's like, I'm stupid. She throws it. And then she like falls asleep in a car that's not heated and like below 10-degree weather. And then she wakes up and she's in a different life. I'm just saying she's probably in a coma, but
That's usually how those play out.
but yeah, she wakes up and she's like, oh,
What do you
God,
mean?
I'm a CEO.
Yeah, what do you
know?
mean?
I'm a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you know?
Yeah.
And then like she calls the guy and she's like, oh,
Oh, and now her boss like works under her.
You're right,
And
stuff
she's
like that.
He's like her assistant
yeah.
now.
And so she's got to find her way back to her husband, which
Right.
I appreciate because it takes like,
And then of course the Santa character has to be has to come for a reprisal and give
Yeah.
her. Well, I'll give you this one last wish.
like the wink.
yeah.
Ding.
And then boom, everything's back to normal.
Oh, she's like, oh, I don't want to live this life anymore. He's like, oh, click your heels 3 times.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't care. You know,
Do
Hallmark.
something.
Yeah.
It'll work out.
It's
It
like,
always
yeah,
does.
you're on out because those things are like fucking 4 hours long. You're on hour 2.5. You're probably drunk as shit off of wine.
You're gonna fall asleep
Who
for
cares?
the second half of the second act. You'll
See-
be awake for the rest of it.
See, but there's something nice about those movies because you got the cookies in the oven. The house smells like cheer and joy and peppermint. And your old lady's like, oh hey, we're gonna watch a Hallmark movie. She puts it on. You're like, this is horrible, but you're entertained the whole time.
Yeah.
It's probably because you're loaded.
Yeah, 2 bottles of wine in that you quote unquote split.
Yeah, because that's the only time she drinks is when the Hallmark movies come out.
Yeah.
Because even she, like, subconsciously is like, this fucking sucks.
I need alcohol to get through this.
No, I'm joking though, man. Those things aren't bad.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the premises are always the same thing.
Yeah.
Man leaves because he has important business meeting. Too busy for his wife.
Right.
Wife,
Or is like mean. He's just like a little too curt.
yeah. Wife nails the hardware store guy.
Yeah.
Falls in love with him. But she doesn't nail him because it's a Hallmark movie.
Right, but
they have a moment together.
yeah.
Like, 30 years of marriage flushed down the fucking toilet because, like,
Because
this guy.
they had eye contact for 2 seconds.
Yeah, because they touched the trinket at the same time.
Yeah.
They made eye contact. I'm sorry. Name's John. What's the guy's name from earlier? Sebastian or Jeffrey Sebastian II or something like that.
Oh, trying to bring it all back.
Yeah. Did my best. But that's what I'm saying. It's always like a touch of the hand or like a wisp of the wind or,
It's a sign.
Yeah. It's stupid.
I agree, but
Yeah. I'm a cobbler. What?
yeah,
like,
no,
why
I'm a
is
cobbler. I
it that?
make
Why is that
shoes.
their job all the time? It's like some ye old fucking yee ass job.
Yeah, like it's either like carpenter,
Yeah.
or cobbler, or like
Blacksmith.
Yeah, I've never seen one with a blacksmith. That might be more entertaining.
That'd be sick. I fell in love with you,
At the Renaissance Fair.
so I got you a sword. Oh my god, a sword! And then the husband comes home. Whose fucking sword is that?
It was a gift.
He gave it to me. Stop treating me so badly. The guys always dressed the same. They got like the loose jeans,
Yeah.
the fucking flannel T-shirt.
No, it's either flannel or the Henley.
Yeah.
With the sleeves all the way
They got the
rolled up.
They got the J.C. Pennywall haircut.
Yep.
The lead actress and actor are kind of hot, but it's like
But just maybe just short of real actor.
yeah, yeah, like TV, like TV hot.
Yeah.
Like Chicago PD hot.
Right.
Like you're not seeing them on the big screen anytime soon, but
But they get
guess
the job
what, dude?
done.
That fucking Blue Blood season 27 is gonna be good as hell this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's always that, and like I said, the jobs are always the same type of thing, like you said, cobbler, and they're really good at baking
Yeah.
for some reason. That or they're like, they got
Or
7.
painting. Painting's another one.
They don't have a kid. They never have a kid. They have a niece
Yeah.
who like gets.
And
It's
they-
always
they'll,
the sa-
like,
like
and
she
they're
talks
really,
to the-
they take being an uncle really serious.
Yeah,
They
they go out to have like a drink and they're like hanging out with each other and they're like, oh, I just wanted to, my sister died in a horrible fucking, airplane accident and got left with her niece. I love her. She's like my daughter. She's like, it's so sweet.
Yeah. But it's never his actual daughter because you can't have the
Yeah,
baby
no.
mama in the picture.
Yeah,
That's just
not in Hallmark.
not in a Hallmark movie. No, sir. They're
Gin-
not married yet.
Yeah. That's what I want to write a Hallmark movie and call it Tearing the Gingerbread House Down. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Nice.
Or like Homewrecker, but have it be the gingerbread house.
Oh, I
wrecked,
like that.
you know what I
I
mean?
like that. I want to see a Hallmark movie set like in the apocalypse.
Here,
I think that would be interesting.
I think we have an idea here. Here, let me give you the premise of my Hallmark movie, okay?
Okay.
And here's the thing, Hallmark, if you hear this, I will sell you this premise, I promise. So, let's just say girl or lady and her husband, Thanksgiving's coming up. You
Okay.
gotta switch things up a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
get away from Christmas.
And he's like, it's like a week before Thanksgiving. And he says something like, oh, I got to go back to New York. They're calling me, honey. I got to do my job. And she's like, okay, well, I'll be here, you know. And so she goes, she wants to go buy a new flannel at the flannel store. So she walks in, and like, you know, there's like flannel everywhere, black and red.
Maybe a white and black every once
They
in a
got
while.
a jeans section, you know what I mean? Tank top, you know. So she walks over and she's looking through the flannel, and she like pushes over, and there's a guy on the other side of the flannel, and he's like looking at the same flannel, and he looks at her and he like smiles, you know. And she, and so she's like, same flannel, you know. And he's like, unisex, you know.
I'm Josh.
And like that, yeah. I'm Josh. I wear flannel.
Unisex only.
I smell like whiskey and wood. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna, you know. She's like, he takes the flannel, go buy it. Turns out that Josh is like the guy who runs the flannel store, and he's like, you know what? Looks like you're having a hard time.
Go
This
ahead,
one's
take
on
it.
me.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I have to pay for it. He's like, no.
No.
Get out of here. So
Get out of my store.
Leave. So she gets in her car, you know, and she drives off. She drives back home. She's sitting there, and she's like, you know, I don't know, making tea or whatever white women do in movies. And
It's usually tea, green tea.
yeah. And she's like sitting there.
Maybe a
she's
nice Earl Grey chamomile.
She's got the tea, and she's like, you know, sniffing the tea.
She's double handing it
Always.
for no reason.
Yeah. She's got like the teacup's like a fucking bowl for some reason.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, it takes a sip of it. It takes a sip of it. Looks over. Her golden retriever is sleeping. Because, of course, golden retriever.
Yep.
And she, like, falls asleep. And she falls asleep, and she uses the flannel to, like, cover herself. And then, like, she wakes up. Or she has a dream. And Josh is in the dream.
Of course.
And he's like, you gotta wake up. Wake up. You know. She's like, what? And she wakes up. She looks over, and like her house is on fire. She's like, "Oh my gosh!" Oh. It's because the Christmas lights are up, you know.
No, but it's Thanksgiving.
Oh, because the Thanksgiving lights are up. And so she.
Well, you couldn't. No, you can. She's like trying to make the Thanksgiving dinner for her husband coming back.
Yeah, because he's coming back in 2 days. Because time's elapsed. Her going to the flannel store took 6 days canonically.
Of course.
Yeah, and so she wakes up, and the turkey set the house on fire. She's like, oh no. She runs out, and she goes outside, and the only thing she takes is the golden retriever and the flannel.
Yep.
She's like standing outside, and she's like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. And then Josh like walks up behind her. He's like, whoa. Can't believe
that's on fire.
Dude, your house is on fire, you know. She's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And he's like, I know what you can do. And he snaps his finger, and it goes away, like the fire goes away, the house is perfectly fine. She's like, how did you do that? And he's like, I'm a fucking elf. Right? But I'm gonna be promoted to be Santa as long as I keep selling flannels and spreading the cheer of Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And so
it took a turn. I'm with it though.
And so now
far more interesting than any other Hallmark movie I've seen.
But now she's the rest of the movie is her realizing that she wants to be Mr. Claus or Mrs. Claus for this guy, right? But her husband comes back, of course.
Yeah.
Whose
flannel is this?
Yeah. no, it's like she just finishes up like a coffee date or something with Josh where he was like, I just need your help.
I just want to talk about something.
Selling my flannels, you know, and like
maybe we could talk about marketing.
Yeah. She spent the last 5 days helping this guy sell flannels.
Right.
And she's like, it's like a montage of her being like, you know, over some like, you know, like.
Well, yeah, they like jump in a leaf pile.
Yeah, like Kelly Clarkson playing in the background.
Yeah.
And she's like selling flannels with this guy, Josh.
Yeah.
And so the husband calls her like after she's had a great day with this guy. And he's like, hey, I'm coming home. That turkey better be ready. And she's like, oh, I haven't done the Thanksgiving dinner because I was so focused on Christmas, you know. So her and the golden retriever are like trying to prep the Thanksgiving dinner, and Josh comes over. He's like, seemed like you were in distress when
I
you
know
left.
I can bake you the pie.
Yeah, I can do. He's like, I have magic, and he like magically makes the thing appear, and this is where it takes a turn, right? Josh poisons the Thanksgiving dinner. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. But no, so then the husband comes home and he's like eating Thanksgiving dinner and he's like, all he talks about, he's like, just business.
Business.
So business.
And then we had more business.
And then she's like, okay. And he's like, what do you seem uninterested? You always are interested in my business. She's like, I don't know. He's like, what's going on here? Whose flannel is that? She's like, I bought it.
I was cold.
And he's like, you bought it? From who?
With my money?
And like he starts getting angry, like, right?
Uh-huh.
And he like gets up and he's like, bah, like screaming at her. And then like you hear and he's like, who is that? She's like, don't come in here. Stop it. And then the door just flies open. And like he comes in, he's like, what's going on in here? I'm Josh. That's my flannel. And he's like, who's what? And then like, because it's Hallmark, within a 5-minute scene of him essentially being angry as hell towards her, he then understands that he has to give her up because Josh is going to be Santa Claus and she now loves Josh. So he's like, I guess I'll just get out of here. She's like, I think that would be best. And Josh is like, sorry, man. He's like, it's all right. You know, predator clasp.
Yep.
You know, and then he leaves. And then she turns into Mrs. Claus. And like, that's the end of the movie. Everything's cool. At the end of it, like Santa calls up and he's like, hey, it's me, Santa Claus. I wanted to let you know I'm retiring. And he's like, oh, this is the biggest opportunity of my life. You're going to be Santa Claus. And he's like, oh, and that's it. The end.
No, and then it should end with the scene of like the husband,
Josh. The husband getting a gift
from Josh,
But
aka Santa,
and it's the gift he wanted since he was a little kid.
yeah,
Dude,
boom,
that's what
$1
I'm
million
talking about.
idea.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, man, we got this.
Yep,
Hallmark movies.
bam.
All right, I've been Juan,
I am always Richard.
and we've been shooting from the hip.
Shooting from the hip.